Hi, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Let's see who we got in here. We got Kevin's the first one. Hi, Kevin. How you doing, bud? Thank you for stopping in. Miss Lisa, Ben. Of course, we got Cage in there. We got Daryl there. Let's see who. I'm scrolling down through. Hi, Rail. Rail came in. How you doing, bud? I see Rail had a new project come out.
Yeah.
I haven't got to watch the video on it yet, but it is in my list of watch later. So,
Yeah, he got him in the high school that we going to put back together. Looks like.
like I said, it popped up on my notifications, and I clicked watch later, and I have not had I've had my TV on maybe an hour today, and I've been up since 3:30.
Hey, Rail.
But,
man, Lisa.
I got a question for you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I see that now that you switch sides for the camera angles and stuff. But now I see, and then there's about midway to that video, I seen why you got on that side. So you can get the young lady walking all the way from the end up all the way up past you there.
She cleans you up.
Well, the big reason is because of the scraper tractor and the flagman. they're usually on the opposite side. They usually go up and run up and down the opposite side of the track. Well, this past weekend, yesterday, the guy that was flagging like the second half of the first round decided he wanted to be on the same side as the camera. I'm like, dude, the whole reason I'm over here is for people who don't, cut in front of me. Tractors don't go in front, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. And so whatever, it is what it is.
So how you doing, Ed?
I'm doing great. How you been doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. Been doing good. Except for the mosquitoes out there. Man, they bad. And they're gonna be coming bad come Thursday. It's gonna be bad. Everything gonna be bad. Got a hurricane coming. You're gonna hit Thursday. Wednesday night. Francine.
Hey. Hi, Gleason.
Hey, Gleason, what's up, on me? Good to see you. I sent you a link last night to come into my live stream, but I guess you're busy.
But I went down, and Mark and Bo and Sandy came down, brought Bo's tractor, the one we just worked on, and it didn't. I mean, it ran good at home, ran good coming off the trailer, hooked it to the sled, died. Boo.
Oh, it got lazy like a mule.
We think we're chasing electrical gremlins now, or Mark thinks he's chasing electrical gremlins now. So
that'll work, Lisa.
A bunch of wildfire smoke.
Wow.
But,
from where? Canada or Montana? Or North Dakota?
I don't know where they're having the wildfires at. The last couple of weeks I have not been watching TV very much at all.
You didn't work to watch, really.
Well, I usually watch the news in the morning, basically to get the weather and stuff. But I've been having it on, but I guess I've just been kind of zoning out. But yeah. Mark's going to basically rewire completely plumb crazy everything, because he found out today when he went out and was looking at it, the fuel pump's not running, and that's a brand new fuel pump he just put on it. So I'm thinking Bo did the wiring the last time, and we think there's a bad connection or something somewhere. So Mark's going to basically rip all the wiring out of it and rewire the whole thing. It'll start and idle, but it won't. As soon as Bo started letting the clutch out, it died. Boom.
Wow. So. And then yeah, but y'all don't have those safety switches on the clutches and all that, seat switches.
No.
I didn't think so.
Nope. So yeah, he's gonna do that, and tomorrow I'm pulling my valve covers off, and I'm gonna check spring clearance to see how much clearance I have at full valve open, and I'm gonna order some spring shims and try to cure my valve float problem. Um, I'm not able to hit full RPM because I'm trying to feather the throttle because I'm floating the valves. So
Coastal girl. Okay. West Coast. Yes.
Yeah, 86. Yeah.
That's not hot. Man, I would. There's a lot of times I wish it'd be 86. That would be a cool wave. Cold front come through at 106, 107, normal. And then 125 with the heat index. Yeah, that's 86 is nice for me. We keep the air conditioning on 79 in here.
Well, I got down the track yesterday, right about a little bit after 2, and it was kind of cloud cover, and of course I set the awning up because there was like a 5% chance of rain, and I'm like, you know what? If I don't set this thing up, we're going to get a little quick shower, and I'm going to get soaked. So I set the awning up. I actually put a hoodie on. I was there for about an hour, and yeah, I got chilly just sitting there because there was a pretty decent breeze. Renegade Garage, what's happening, buddy? Thank you for stopping in. So, but I did find out that Summit Racing carries the spring shims that I'm going to need, but my local store, which is about 40 minutes from me, said to call ahead before I come up to make sure they have them in stock. He said because for some reason for about the last month, as fast as they get them in, they're going out the door.
Wow.
So what I'll probably end up doing is order them online so I can pick them up in store.
That's because I'm ordering them just to get on his nerves.
I can believe it. I can definitely believe it. You would do something like that to Lisa.
I did. I do my neighbor like that. I have got him hooked on 5 different foods now, and he blames me every time.
And yeah, so that's my way. I have 2 weeks to get it done. We're not pulling this coming weekend. I'm gonna do some shop time and some house cleaning and everything else. But yeah, my plan is to have the spring shimmed so that because the only other thing is to set a throttle stop so but then I lose distance. So, but I did take a third and a second yesterday, so I'm still in the point, still in the points, still in the money, but well, congratulations there, Renegade. That's awesome.
Yeah, congratulations.
I'll get there in about 10 years. But yeah, the old Jungle website got me again. I've got to do some wiring at work where I need to solder some wires, and my old soldering iron at work, it just it's just, it barely heats up and shit. So I went on Amazon to see what they had, and they had one of them cordless ones that had really, really, really good reviews, and it was actually like 50% off, so it was like $10. I ordered it. Uses this one takes a DeWalt battery, 20-volt DeWalt. So, yeah, we'll see how it does. I'm gonna use it tomorrow.
Does it have a handle like that one? Or similar?
Yeah.
I hope it's a T12. You'd be real satisfied with it if it's a T12.
I don't even remember. I just looked at it, and
That's what the tips look like. Then they just
well,
go in like
this
that.
this one has a little tip that goes in and has a little set screw that holds it in.
Oh, okay.
So
How much you said? Like $10, $15?
$10. It's 50% off. All the other ones I was looking at were 19 something or $22 or $23,
Yeah.
and it looked like the same identical one. I mean, buttons, everything, color, all that, all looked exactly the same. This one just kind of popped up, and it had, 500 or 600 reviews, 4.5-star rating. So I'm like, okay, it's $10. I'll try it.
If you're not satisfied with it, let me know. I'll send you a link to a real good soldering station for about $30. That'll last you forever, and you'll be real satisfied with the one I use.
Yeah, Wayne, I got this one has a digital output too.
Oh,
So,
Hey, Wayne.
Yeah, like I said, I wanted one. I looked at like Napa and local places. I could get one for $10 that plugs into the wall from Harbor Freight.
No.
Yeah. Well,
Got
I want the mobility, to where I can.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but that's
out in the shop.
Right.
If I was working at a table or a desk or workbench or something, that'd be different. But so I went on the old, like I said, Amazon.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah,
I think $100-something.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not the picture there.
Yeah. I even looked at the little propane one, or not propane, but butane ones, and I'm like, no, I don't. It's not something I'm going to use all the time. So,
You can use a little torch, a little mini torch to solder anything. That's a great portable soldering iron.
Well,
it allows you, the area you're in allows you to have a flame.
Yeah. That's the whole thing. Where I got to solder a wire on is right next to it's actually on a voltage regulator. One of our mowers at work, it's a Kawasaki. The wire that comes from the voltage regulator to the battery, I've put different ends on this thing. I've changed voltage regulators. And it doesn't melt the wire. It just, something happens with the terminal end and it gets loose and falls off.
Right.
I've tried crimping it. I've tried everything, and nothing will keep keep it. And it's just this tractor. I don't know what it is. So there's a little hole in that terminal that's on the voltage regulator. I'm going to stick a wire in there, and I'm going to solder a wire it, and then heat shrink it, and then put my wire connector, 6-8 inches away from it. So, well, like I said, it doesn't melt the wire, so it's not the draw, it's not drawing too much voltage or anything or amperage. I have no clue why it does it, and it's only this tractor.
Vibration, maybe.
It could be. I don't. Like I said, I don't know. And we have 6 of those tractors, and it's always this one. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what it is about. It's something with that wiring or something. And I've changed. Like I said, I've changed the spade end on it. The female spade.
Right.
I've changed that end 2 or 3 times, and I have no clue what it is. So we're gonna fix it. We're gonna fix it good.
Soldering, definitely do.
Well, what brought my attention to it is one of the grounds guys. It was right at lunchtime. He come and he's like, "Hey, man," he goes, "Hate to be the bearer of bad news." He said, "But my mower," he said, "I was mowing along, the mower deck shut off, and then all of a sudden, or I shut the tractor off, he said, it won't restart or anything. I'm like, okay. I said, is it maybe a safety switch? Did you forget to shut the PTO? He said, no. He said, after the last time you come out, because I left the PTO on, he said, I checked all that. He said, nothing. He said, it won't do nothing. So, hi, Jeff.
Hello.
What's going on?
So I went up and looked, and yep, the battery was stone cold dead. Oh, Jeff just dropped out. All right, Ben. Thank you for stopping in for a little bit there, but I really do appreciate it, man.
Later, Ben.
So I jump started it. I said, just drive it straight back to the shop, and I actually slid that wire back on, and it was 7 or 8 minute trip maybe down to the shop to get the tractor back down there. By the time he got back down there, the battery had charged back up enough we restarted it. So it's the voltage regulator wasn't bad. It's just that terminal is just loose, and it I think somehow it gets loose and then it does pop off. So because the only thing that runs on the battery is the cooling fan and the electric clutch. It's a vacuum fuel pump. Just a regular small engine ignition. So it's not does have a fuel pump too. I forgot about that. It is does have a fuel pump, but I'm like, hey, so I'm gonna solder the wire on it. I'm tired of this. It's just like the other one we have. It's the oldest one we have. Randomly, just here or there, wherever, when you go to start it, or when you turn the key on, it blows the main fuse. You gotta stay with us this time, Jeff?
Yeah, well, I couldn't hear nobody last time. That's what was happening.
Oh, okay.
Here it is again. Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Cajun.
Hello, Jeff.
Hey, Daryl.
So,
Where's the dog?
She's around here somewhere.
But on that mower that blows the main fuse, it's random. It'll blow the fuse. You put a new one in it, and it may run for 3 months without happening. I thought maybe it was like, happening after it rained and they were out in the rain or something like that. Nope. The last time it did it, it hadn't rained for, a week, and they didn't wash it or anything like that. So it just, and it's instantaneous as soon as you turn the key on. I've checked the wiring harness to make sure there's nothing rubbing somewhere that, would short out or something like that. And it's random. They may start it up in the morning, take it out, drive it up to campus, mow for like an hour or so, shut it off to go to the bathroom, come back. As soon as you turn the key, it pops.
You know how to fix that, Ed?
Put a piece of wire in there.
Yeah, a piece of 8 gauge. You'll find where it's broken then.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, John.
Hey, John. Actually, what I'm going to do is get on the back side of the dash panel, and it's a 20 amp fuse that's blowing. I'm going to put a 20 amp circuit breaker on the back side that's auto reset, and that way, if it happens and it shuts up, and like I said, it'll blow the fuse, pull the old fuse out, put a new one in, it'll start right up, and nothing, no issue. So I'm gonna put a circuit breaker on the back side of it, and let it trip, and then I'll tell them if it does it. Sit there for a couple seconds, let that thing reset, and start it up.
I like my way. That's guaranteed to find it.
Yeah, it will. That's a lot. That 8 gauge wire handle a lot of current.
So
something's gonna get red hot. Oh, a thermal imager come in handy too, like that.
Well, we done burnt one down. I don't want to burn another one.
Hey, as long as it's not a Ventrax, we don't really care.
Yeah, it's a hustler, so
Yeah.
I kind of do care.
I got a friend of mine.
Oh, hustlers are.
He's a friend of mine.
Oh, hustlers are.
He's a hustler expert. And he did some designs on the hustler for other stuff with switches and relays and stuff. Y'all probably know him. Mavanti, Taj Mavanti, like something like Taj Mahal, Taj Mavanti. He was in that little clique, me and a few other guys on the lawnmower forum, but which we not there now.
Tried to change the height.
Hey, Shane and
You know the deal, brother.
Tommy.
And Tommy.
So, does he work for XL Industries then?
Who? Taj Mavanti? Mavanti? I don't know who he works for,
He doesn't work for us.
but he's a. I didn't mean like he was a hustler dealer or
Right.
engineer, for hustler. No, he's just an expert on them because he spends a lot of time with them, working on improving them is what he does.
Well, tell him to get rid of that fucking relay block that's in there.
Wow.
Everything runs through a relay block, and it's sealed. You can't replace anything on it.
Oh yeah, it's got that potting in it, like a power pack on an outboard motor, and you can't get to it. You can't even see what's inside with all the potting and stuff. Yeah,
That sounds like the key switch on the X2 Cub Cadets.
voltage regulator. They don't want you to see what's inside. Oh, how many volts? Well, it doesn't matter the volts. You can go as many volts as you want, but the amperage on the diodes and the voltage regulator.
Well, I think there's 4 or 6 relays in this thing, and I've replaced 2 of those units so far. And they won't give you a wiring diagram to tell you which way the wires and stuff go.
Yeah, I'll get with him tonight. I'll send him an email and have him get with you.
Yeah, because they show a wiring diagram, but it shows the block and it shows like the fuel pump or the fan or whatever, but the power comes in, but it doesn't say which this wire comes from here to feed this to
blue wire, green, yellow, striped, green, whatever. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, if you ever need it.
I even called Hustler and said, "Hey, I need a wiring diagram to know which way these things go because I know what relay is bad. I'm just going to put an external relay on it." Well, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Why can't I?
I can do whatever I want.
Can if you know what's inside.
Yeah. I paid the $15,000 for that thing. I can do whatever I want to. It's out of warranty.
Wow.
Including burning it down.
Mm-hmm.
For a hustler?
Yep.
Gee, Monetti.
Hey, if you ever need it, I got a wiring diagram for the X2 Cub Cadets. It has the colors and everything, where they go and what they do.
Wow.
I was going to print it out, and I didn't. I just put it on my saved stuff.
Yep. But
so do you? I mean, how many relays are in there, or no? 3 probably.
There's either 4 or 6.
Oh. Okay.
The wiring diagram tells you what each wire is.
Okay.
But it doesn't tell you
which 2 of the coils, and then which 2 of the open and closed side when the coil activates.
Right. No, John, I don't have that. I don't have the money. My work does.
The university does.
Yeah, the university has it.
And you don't have the time to search the web to find these manuals and print them out either, huh?
I have, and there are no manuals for them.
Oh.
Yeah, but John,
I never looked at Hustler though.
John, he just don't want you to know about all those glass mason jars he's got buried all around his house and all around his school and everything else. I mean, he's scared somebody gonna find them. All the mason jars.
Daryl, I've been telling you, brother, there ain't too many of them mason jars left out there. I've been done having to dig them suckers up. You
I
know,
don't even have mason jars left.
Land Yacht Garage. How you
That's
doing,
my
buddy?
map part, money. She says, you better make me a map.
So Daryl, where were you this afternoon when I needed you?
What I was I went to I don't know, probably asleep. Why?
I needed somebody to help me, and Ed was busy. I says, well, maybe Daryl will, and I never found Daryl. So instead of changing the deck height of a mower, I just took it right off the tractor and said, fuck it.
He seems like me. Fuck it.
I did the back rollers, there's no problem, but trying to move it down to the bottom hole in the front deck, I couldn't get it.
Kane, my bank account looks like an exchange rate. The money comes in and it goes right back out. So I ain't got no money in the bank.
And the interest rate is probably 0.002, huh?
Exchanging from this hand to that hand.
Exactly.
I had some Canadian money. George Combs sent me for some coin supplies or something. And he sent me Canadian money, Canadian bills. Okay. Like it's like $35 or $40 or something. And so I called my bank and they says, yeah, we can do it. We never done it before that I know of, but we can do it, exchange your Canadian money for American money. So she did the math. She said, let me see what the the exchange rate is. So blah, blah, blah. She said, okay, I did that and I figured it out. She says, after you give us your $35, you're gonna owe us $34.
Huh?
Yeah, because they have a fee, a one-time, fee, and the fee was $50. So yeah, I would have owed them $34. Give them the 35, and I'd have owed them 34.
So you got $1.
No, I owed them. Besides about the money I gave them, I had to give them that extra 30. So I was out $40. Plus, I was out another 34. That's how much it cost to do that exchange rate. It was a
I
big
would have
fee.
never done that.
Well,
If I had $2,000, it would have been worth it.
I made a mistake one time. I went to Canada and I forgot to get smaller bills. All I had was $20 bills was the lowest thing I had. And when I had to scale out my load, so they give me back, so I had to break a $20 bill. I get back to the back down to the United States border, and I said, well, I'll just use this $5, the Canadian $5, to give to them instead of since it's right here at the border. They threw that stuff back in my face. They said they told me we don't take play money here. I said, oh.
Well, a few years back, I had an exchange student that worked for me, and I forget what country he was from, but like towards the end of his stay with me, when he was working with me, he gave me a couple bills from his country, and I'm like, oh, this is freaking cool. One has, I didn't know what the numbers were, so I mean they're really cool looking dollars. So I looked them up, and one was like a 20, and one was like a 50. I looked at the exchange rate. I had like $3 in American money. But they're cool, they're really cool looking bills.
So you can go out and buy yourself a coffee on him, huh?
Yeah, basically. But yeah, he like I said, I've got him somewhere put away. But they had like a iridescent spot on them, and then they had a couple spots that had like it looked like it reminded me of wax paper. Wax paper has that whitish, see-through kind of like deal.
Yeah.
It had some of that in it. I'm like, this is really cool. and I mean, it took like a month before I even got curious of what it was worth. I knew it wasn't going to be much, but yeah, it ended up with the exchange rate. It's like $3 or something like that. I'm like that's freaking cool.
Hey, Ed, is my good friend Lisa Ann here?
Yeah.
Well, Lisa Ann, it's time for to wore myself out today, and I'm starting to get really tired. So it's been real nice.
All right. Lisa's under a severe thunderstorm and tornado watch. Rutro. Hi, Missy. You be careful, Lisa.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, and it was interesting to look it up and stuff. Like I said, I kept the bills just because they were interesting.
Well,
But
I made enough trips back to Canada that I was able to use up that money, but you better believe I had ones and fives and everything else before I went in there anymore.
what's it? What's that? That was what was nice whenever I was still working over the road. When we go into Canada up by Windsor, they took American money,
Yeah.
so we never had to exchange anything.
Well, Quebec is the only one that I know of that don't give you the exchange rate. Up in Quebec, see, they knew that they had a sucker on the line there at their desk, so my company wasn't going to reimburse me, but what it said, so they give it to. I didn't have enough know how about the conversion rate. Is when I sent in my bill sheet to tell them what I sent in the copy of the scale ticket, and they paid me that back, paid me back in American money, but but it just ended up. It's still I was still out of money because of the fact that I still had all that change left over from it. And so,
Right.
But I went up there the next time I went up there, I made sure I had a bunch of ones and a little small change to get in and out of there with.
Right. Well, see, that's like when we went up Windsor up there. That it's all well, at least it was casinos and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
they take
Ontario is a whole lot different ball game. You can go into McDonald's and they'll give you the exchange rate right there at the cash register. I mean,
well, it's the first. I was in Windsor before they even thought about having to have a passport.
Yeah, I was. That's when I went to Canada myself. Yeah, you didn't have to have one to go cross up there then, but you do now.
Yeah, the biggest thing. I mean, if you went across like at Windsor, if you went across in a car or something, they barely even looked at you. But if you take a commercial vehicle across, they let you in all day. It's coming back.
Coming back when we'll mess with you.
Well, they want they want to inspect your vehicle and everything else.
And you got to pay them to come back in too, in a commercial vehicle.
Yep. Well, one of our crews found out you don't take the commercial truck across the line. They zipped right in and spent the whole entire day in there. I mean, they weren't drinking or anything. Well, they were, but they weren't drunk or anything. They coming back across, they said, "Do you have anything to declare?" And they're like, "No, we're just installers. What's in the back? Just tools." Well, what they didn't tell them is that there was a full office furniture set in there, like fine wood furniture that they'd picked up in Michigan the day before, and were taking it back to our shop for the owner to put it in his office that a friend of his gave him. Yeah, they had to hand unload it. They loaded it with tow motors. and they had to empty everything out, all their tools, everything. They were there 2 days. They got fired.
Are they looking for drugs or something, or contraband?
That's
Contraband or whatever. Now, if they would have told them, hey, we've got office furniture in the back here that was given to the owner of our company by a friend of his, over here in Michigan. We picked it up because we're supposed to be hauling it back. We decided to come over for the day here and spend the day over here, and we're heading home tonight. They probably would have said, okay, open it back up and looked. Oh, okay. But when they told them, yeah, we're just graphic installers, all we have is tools, and they opened it back up and it's full of furniture.
Oh,
like, oh, what else are you hiding?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So
they will give you all kind of. They give you up to a cavity search and then some. If you don't.
The big thing is that they thought that they bought it over in Canada and were bringing it back across.
Yeah.
They didn't have a bill of sale. They didn't have a shipping invoice. They didn't have nothing. They picked it up at a guy's house. It was a friend of the owner and was supposed to be taking it back down with them. So
Well,
yeah.
But you have in order, like if you're going from New York over to Ontario, instead of having to swing all the way down and back up, you could go across the border, but then you got to have a bondsman and all that stuff, put it in bond to go straight across. And and so I just drove the daggum extra miles. I wouldn't do that kind of crap. I just tried extra miles.
I was only over there 3 or 4 times. And the guy, the first time I went over was a guy that had been installing and been up there multiple times. We were at the hotel, and he's like, "Hey, let's go over to Windsor, and we'll hang out." I said, "I don't gamble or anything." He's like, "No, we won't gamble. We'll just check out the scenery and shit." Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So he called a cab. He's like, "We don't take the commercial truck across." I'm like, "Oh, okay." It was like $10 for the taxi over and back. I'm like, yeah, there ain't no way,
No, and you don't tell them you got dispatcher brain, loads of dispatcher brains in the back of that truck, neither.
Yeah.
If you're coming out empty, you say, "I got a load of dispatcher brains." They won't. They want you to go over and back into the dock and open the doors and search all over the truck and all that stuff. So, sailboat fuel and stuff like that. They don't take kindly for you teasing them that.
No.
They ain't got them. It's the Americans. The American side of the border does not have no humor about them. I mean,
no. Oh, Wayne said he got to wear his flannel shirt. Awesome. The Red Green Show. I remember that show.
Me too.
Yep. If they don't find you handsome, they better find you handy.
All right.
They don't find me anyway. Handsome or handy. But I'm okay with that.
Oh, Grizz, 790, 870. Big Grizz up on the northeast coast up there. He's kind of live off the land type of guy. He's a friend of mine, and he's got a wood mill, all that. You look like him. Matter of fact, you might have been in the panel with him one time in my live stream. But he I forget what I was going to say now. What you had just talked about.
The Red Green Show.
Yeah. He used to say, Grizz used to say, he'd do that sign off. If they don't find you handy, they can find you handsome. Or handsome then find you handy. And I think he quit saying that because I don't know if it was copyrighted or patented or whatever.
It's probably copyrighted.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Red Green Show. But yeah, and now that you have to have a passport to go to Canada, I have no desire to go.
I ain't lost nothing up there.
No. I'll go see Niagara Falls from the American side. You know, if I want to see a bunch of water falling over a hill.
It makes me sleepy.
I did see something yesterday. I forget what it is. The world's largest waterfall is actually underwater. It's I forget. It's 3 or 4 times the size of the biggest one on land. You know, and it's over by Norway or someplace, Norway Straits or something like that. I just caught a little bit of it, but yeah, it's actually underwater. So yeah, Madagascar. It's over by Madagascar. That's where it's at. But it's some straits, and the water actually comes, and then it's a volcanic island, and the water comes out, and then it drops off, and it drops, and it's actually pulling silt from the shore, and that's what you're seeing when you see it from the sky. It's not you're not seeing the water falling; you're seeing the silt and the sand, and it looks like a waterfall, but technically it is a waterfall. It is moving water over whatever. But yeah, I thought I don't know, random thoughts, kind of interesting. I've been having the squirrel brain lately. You know, I'll start working on something, and it's like, oh, 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 you know, because somebody actually at the polls that watches the channel asked me if I was going to get back to working on monkey business, and I said, yeah. I said, eventually, I said, when my squirrel brain settles down and I, can focus on it, you know, I go out and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna tinker on this and video this, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, let's do this, and let's go there. Yo, Nate, what's happening?
Hey, Nate.
What's
Yo,
up,
Nate,
Mom?
tell me what you want, what you really, really want. So,
One of them big high wheel swamp buggies, like deer meat for dinner guy.
yeah. But no, see my squirrel brain's hitting again. I got up this morning, went to go to Walmart, and walked out my back door. There must have been an owl real close, because he hooted and I jumped.
Ooh, dang.
Yeah.
You ever hear them sound like a bunch of monkeys? 2 owls get together, and then when they hoot, they'll hoop, and all that, and then they'll start screaming like monkeys. Yeah.
No, this one's around the house. Usually I hear him way back at the tree line and stuff, but he must have been up towards the house hunting mice or whatever, and I must have startled him as much as he startled me. Because like I said, I walked out the back door and I know more, and got out the screen door, and he let out a whoop, and I'm like, knock that off. It's pitch black out here. I don't need to be hearing that. But yeah, I finally made it to Walmart this week. I haven't been to the grocery store. Well, I stopped by the little Econo one. So on my way home from work the other day, and picked up a couple things, but to actually buy groceries, I haven't been there for 2.5 weeks or something like that.
Hey, Mustard.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Mudster. You want a duck instead of the penguin. That would be awesome. I want. You guys ever see that big yellow inflatable duck that was going around that would pop up in different places?
Yeah, I remember something about
I want that for my backyard,
it.
just to piss my neighbors off.
Hey, Mustard.
Mudster, what's happening? I guess I read your comment, so hi, Mudster. But yeah, just to piss my neighbor off. That's the only reason I want it. You know.
Get a bigger hammer there, Nate.
Yeah. You want mud to see your gravely. Okay.
I think it means Mustard, huh?
Yeah.
I had a nice gravy when I was young. Well, I was married at the time. I think 19, 20. And it was a self-propelled push style mower. Had the Briggs and Stratton, the ice white color, but it had the pull-up handle like that. And it was a gravelly. And I brought it to the guy that I used to work with in that big lawnmower shop. He was like, man, look at that. When I bought it, he was like, look at that Hansi Clips, because they were also known as Hansi Clips mowers, brand name, gravelly. They were kind of together or something. And I needed a diaphragm for the carburetor. It was one of the Polka jets that sat on the tank. And this was made in, it had the magneto, didn't have points, but it had that diaphragm on the bottom, but it had that spring, had the extra stuff in it because it was automatic choke. And he was like, man, I'll give you $300 right now for this mower. No, I just paid $180 for it. I could have made money, but I took out a loan on that thing, and well, I don't know if it had paid it off because I just bought it. But those are tough mowers. It had a chain for the drive, the cam sprocket that came out for the self-propel had a chain going to the back tires.
So
that back axle. That was a good mower. Oh, look at there. I like that.
what you got going on there, Nate?
I got to mess with the magneto again. I think it's off timing because I got compression, I got spark. I just don't got no pop off.
That's
So,
like great.
I think I got to mess with the timing because when I took it apart, you see I did a paint mark, but I think it moved or something, or I moved something in here when I was taking it apart. But
There is a contact inside that magneto, like your distributor cap.
right,
Make sure that that's under that. Yep, under those screws right there.
here. Right there, right?
On the other side where the spark
On this
plug's at.
side.
Yep.
There is points. I did clean the points, but I didn't gap the points.
You may need to gap the points and make sure that little spring tensioner thing is actually making contact in there.
Spring tensioner thingy.
Well, it's like your rotor button spring
Right.
for the coil.
Okay. I know that spring.
Yep. Make sure that that's clean and making contact.
Well, I'll be honest with you. So I put this on. It's a little short because the one I had was garbage. So I got to find a better one or a longer one.
Yeah.
But I put my spark tester in between it, and I'll get spark for the first 2 hits, and then it won't spark again until the motor slows down, like the motor's spinning too fast or something. There's a little arm inside there on a wheel that comes out and catches a thing, and then whack, and that's what helps it like make spark or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that arm isn't coming out every single time. It's only coming out like the first 2 times, and then it gets stuck in or something.
Could be. Yep.
but it would still pop off on the first two. You know what I mean? Because it'll spark for the first two rotations and then it won't.
Yeah.
Because the starter's picking up speed or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to push the starter button.
Yeah.
Like right now, I ain't getting nothing. Actually, it's not jumping right now, so I don't know. It might be something in that magneto. But
Yeah.
I definitely got compression. Funny story. I had one of those. This is a big ass spark plug in here,
Mm-hmm.
and none of my compression tester things would squeeze in. So I'd stuck the rubber one in there, right? And it was still really loose. But I was like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. And I turned it over and it shot that sucker out. It hit the damn wall up there because I couldn't hold it and hit the button at the same time.
Yeah.
That sucker went flying, man, like a bullet. So I'm pretty sure it has compression. And the compression gauge still read 35 pounds.
Awesome.
So I just wanted Mudster to see this because, and I got the vertical plow and I got the horizontal plow with it too.
Awesome.
So, yep, I just wanted you guys to see it.
I like them
You know-
old machines.
You know me, I got a little soft spot in my heart. Hey, Harold,
What's going on, buddy?
how you doing?
Hey, man, we're hanging in here.
Dude, I ain't seen you in forever.
Yeah, it's been a day or two.
Damn. All right, I'm gonna drop that back down into the chat because it's hot as hell in this garage.
All right, brother.
I'll see you.
Anybody ever had a problem with a Pavilion Hewitt Packard laptop losing power?
Old, I think 4 years old, and this thing is
I got an HP right now, and it's a lot of, and I've had problems out of the cord, the charging cord.
Well, that's what we thought too, but I've got two Hewitt Packards, and both of them are Pavilions, and both of them, the cord charges the other computer, but it's not charging mine.
The battery may have
could
went.
be you got
took a-
that. Is it the one you like just turn it over and you just take the battery out right there?
No,
Just
no,
there's
no
not-
battery in it.
You got to take the battery cover off.
There's no battery. You
on
see
the
it?
HP Pavilion.
There, you see it?
Yeah, and that's upside down too.
Yep, that's upside down. There's no battery in it.
It's way
there's a battery. There's a battery in it. You got to take a case apart to get it out. My
Yeah.
cover off. Yeah,
My,
mine's not like that. And I got
I
a
love-
Pavilion. I left you a comment. Mine's a 15 VS 134.
Okay, I don't know what this one is. I read it earlier and I don't know. I'm thinking I'm going to end up having to take it over to Best Buy and let them figure out what's going on because,
That's where you bought it from?
yep,
How long ago?
it's out of warranty.
Oh, well, they're gonna want to just sell you another one. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm afraid of.
Now, does it work with the charge cord plugged in?
Nope, it won't turn on.
Okay.
Go online, look for a video of how to get the battery out of it.
Okay,
You're probably got to take the case apart. I had to do it to my Lenovo. The battery took a shit. Same thing. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't charge. Took the battery out, plugged the cord back in. It worked beautifully until it took a power spike.
oh really?
Sudden?
Yep.
How it did it all of a sudden?
Yeah. Well, my stupid self, I was under the impression I was supposed to get a memory in the battery working properly. You discharge it all the way down. Well, I did that and I left it for 12 seconds or 12 minutes of power remaining and I plugged it back in. Well, then the light on the screen came back up like it was charging. but then all of a sudden in the middle of a video, the thing just shut itself off and will no longer power up.
Yeah.
It have to do with a MOSFET that has to do with charging, either battery or cord, because that MOSFETs are switchers in there like that.
Yeah, I'm guessing that it's inside the laptop itself because the cord actually works on the other computer.
But try the like what Foot Bear was saying. Take the cover off, take that battery out, maybe try another battery.
Well, you can run them without a battery in them because, like I said, my Lenovo I did it for almost a year, and then we had it was when my house took that tree damage and the power main power got pulled off the house. It gave me a voltage spike, and that and a couple other things quit working. And when I actually took it to a computer guy, he said, "Yep." He said instead of the battery taking a voltage spike, since you took the battery out of the equation, he said it went right into the computer, and he said it's not worth putting a new power supply in it. So
yeah.
But he said, but yeah, it's perfectly fine to run them without a battery in them. You just have to have them plugged in all the time. You can't.
That's what I was doing with the regular laptop, and that's why I thought, well, maybe I need to let the battery drain down some. But that killed it.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, because like I said, my Lenovo did the same exact thing. I always used to leave it plugged in, and I'd use it off battery every once in a while. But then I noticed that I was getting a battery warning sign that the battery was low, and one day it just shut off, and it was on, and I come home from work and went to use it. I'm like, well, this thing's not powering up. What the hell,
Yeah.
And it showed that the charger was plugged in with a little light.
Well, see, I don't even get that.
So I went online and checked, and they were saying that that's what happens when the batteries go bad. That it won't let the power through the battery to run the laptop. So, and everybody said it's fine to take the battery out. It's just a corded machine. It's not cordless anymore. So, but I was fine because I always left it on my desk anyway. So
yeah. All right, well, maybe I'll try taking these two screws out and see if I can't get the back of it off. And
like I said, go online. There are tons of videos on all different kind of laptops and everything, how to take them apart and take the batteries and everything else out of them.
All right.
So,
well, that's what I'm gonna try. Huh?
You're a ham operator, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you mess with radios a lot, soldering and
a little bit, yeah.
Stuff?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. Well, I would pull up a video on that and fix it yourself. If I think what it is, if it's battery and your charger, then you have something in the actual, front end power supply in that computer. There's a little dedicated area for power. Okay?
Right.
And then all you voltage rail split off of that, and then it's actually very simple. You could do it yourself, especially if you got a soldering chip like this one.
Yeah.
Find that one. Then that, and if you don't feel comfortable, just email me. I'll send you my address. You can mail it to me.
Okay.
Yeah, Tommy there said perhaps it's the undercurrent protection on the battery pack.
That's probably what it is.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yep.
It's so dead that the charger is smart enough to where it will not actually charge that battery.
Yeah.
But your laptop should work just with the cord plugged in. That's how this one is. The battery ain't no good on this one. For the last 4 years, the charger has been plugged in, never unplugged.
Okay.
It's running it. So this battery, if I unplug it right now, I'll be gone in 10 minutes or less.
outside.
Outside.
So, all right.
we're
Well,
going.
okay,
We're-
Harold.
Yeah, we're going to try it, and we're going to see what we can tear up.
You can't make it any worse.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's right. You can't break.
That's right.
You can.
Hey.
You can get more than it is now. But
At least my cell phone let me get in here. So,
Gotta get out.
yeah, there you go.
all right, guys, y'all take care, man. Good to see y'all.
All right. See ya.
Bye.
Blue time.
Renegade, my Lenovo would not, because the charger, it runs off the battery when the battery's in it, and the power supply charges the battery. If you take the battery out, there's something in there that tells it that it's just running off of the cord. I don't know. Don't ask me how it works. I just know that, if the battery won't take a charge, it just, like I said, it worked for, almost a year after I took the battery out of it, until it took the voltage spike, and it actually took out the motherboard, or something on the motherboard or something. So, but, all right. Well, before Kane starts hollering at me, we're out of here. We got to go. It's been an hour. We don't want Kane getting on our case again. So appreciate y'all hanging out and watching and hanging and chatting with us. And so
He was typing it.
catch you on the next one.
Appreciate you having me up, Ed. Y'all know the routine, guys and gals. As always, love, peace, and crackling grease. We'll catch y'all later. I blew tie. What's up, little Leah?
See you, Lilith.